when they even get me clothes and all that, then I'll say, how much is this? And when they say, I'm like, why? What is the point? Like, who would want to wear? Then they'll try to say, you're an actor, you're supposed to. I'm like, how does it matter if I'm actor or not? Each film has some 150, 200 million views, so it's like huge, right? Now, none of the films have that kind of views online in Telugu itself. So I used to wonder who's watching this film. So many people. I'm like, okay, then I was like,
On Peeping Moon today, I have somebody who has really intrigued me, especially by the fact that why exactly is he called the Natural Star Nani? Hi Nani, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
What's with the name? I was very intrigued.
It is something which the audience have been calling me from a long time. Like, it all started by calling me an actor who performs naturally, and then because of the roles I have picked and because of the subtle performances when compared to the other performances. So they used to call me the Sahaja Natudu in Telugu, which also means natural actor. And after a point of time, after few successful films, and then one of the directors decided to, put that tag on screen saying Natural Star. So, and that was a funny film. So I thought, okay, it's a fun film, maybe they'll love. But after that, wherever I go, there's so much of love, and they call me, very lovingly Natural Star. So, in fact, I hate that whole idea of having that tags before the names, but I also gave up, and I was like, okay, this is coming from a space of love, so let it be. Why fight it so much? Yeah.
Nani, if I go back a little in the timeline, your first brush with the cinema, I would say, was with Mani Ratnam?
Yeah, no, I'm like, as a kid, I was like really fascinated by cinema, and I used to watch a lot of films, and I was a big movie lover. Like, my favorite pastime used to be like watching films. As a kid, whenever they used to put a film on TV, there used to be this cable TV where, afternoon, evening, they used to play these good new films, and then that was my only excitement in the day. So after a point, I think around during my college time or something, because of Mani sir's film, Mani Ratnam sir's films, I've started, loving the whole, trying to understand how it would have been shot, the technique of filmmaking. So my inclination to do something in cinema started with Mani Ratnam sir. Otherwise, I was just a movie buff, like an audience who's mad about cinema.
Mad about cinema. Yeah. And you have to correct me if my information goes wrong anywhere, please, sir. It started as a club director on sets of film?
Yeah, that was with Babu Garu. Again, he's a legendary director who directed Hum Panch.
I know.
And Babu Garu was is an iconic artist and a director, and I'm so glad that my journey started, as an assistant director to Babu Garu. When I was a clap assistant for Radha Gopalam. This film happened in 2004. That's when my career started.
I found a little bit info. You also used to be a script writer of sorts, and RJ with a very popular show called NonStop Nani.
It was not popular show at all. That was my show, NonStop Nani, in World Space Satellite Radio. It is not the FM channels.
Okay.
It was the set-top box of World Space Satellite Radio, and in that Telugu channel, I used to have this 3 o'clock afternoon show, which was called NonStop Nani. I was very bad at it, and I used to be embarrassed of it. Even if somebody was listening to my show, I used to go, reduce the volume and stuff like that. So that I just did for pocket money. I was always like, this was after me being an assistant director, and before I became an actor. There was this phase of 1.5 years. That is when I worked as an RJ.
But when was it, Nani, that you realized, which was that one film that you've become famous, suddenly everything around you? Because no matter however what anyone says, when you do become famous, the surroundings around you, the people around you do change. What was that moment for you where you thought that, okay?
Oh, that happened for me, because I was someone who was in and around the industry as an assistant director, the clap assistant, the last assistant I was. So a lot of people who I would have worked with, and I did come across them after I become an actor or a star also. And there is a certain way they would have behaved with me, and you see it from the absolute opposite, direction. So It is not that you're giving, you win or something like that at all. For me, it was like, these are the ways of life. Oh, this is how it is. It's like it's an understanding of the reality. That's all.
I think it's also I don't know societal is the word, but the dynamics of success, how it works. That people
Exactly. Like now, one of the popular TV channels I remember, there are so many instances like one of the popular TV channels I remember, they asked me to give a beta cassette and come back. When I was an AD, I went to that channel, I could see that guy, and he could see me, I could see that guy, and all I had to do is give it to him and come back. And I'm standing there, and my job is to give it to him. They told, I went morning 7 o'clock, he came and took it at evening 7 o'clock. So I'm like, the whole day without lunch, I was standing there, and I thought, why is he not coming? Then he looked at me a couple of times and he said, wait. So the same guy 5-6 years down the line, when I just went for some promotion, got on the car, he was the one who was guiding me, sir, lift this way, sir, this way, sir, this way, sir. And he was saying, orange juice, sir. So what I'm saying is, nothing against him, but for me, I felt like how life changes, or because I've seen this side. So I got these kind of incidents a lot many more, because in the same industry I made it, not in some other industry,
exactly.
right? So I got to cross all of them again in some or the other way. Yeah.
Nani, does success changed you as a person? Because in a career spanning of God knows so many years, and with the quality of work and success as in like commercially, and of course when we call it critically, did the core of you changes? Do you think that somewhere
didn't change with me at all. I think I still the same guy who's in Amirpet watching films. Sometimes people around me remind me that I can't do it. Then why I'll wonder, because then now, for example, I'm like, when they even get me clothes and all that, then I'll say, how much is this? And when they say, I'm like, why? What is the point? Like, who would want to wear? Then they'll try to say, you're an actor, you're supposed to. I'm like, how does it matter if I'm an actor or not? This is such a waste, I'll keep saying. So I don't think the mindset will ever change. Yeah.
Nani, what also I think, I know this debate is redundant, so I'm not going to start South and North and Bollywood and South. But when Jersey came, there was something, of course, I think it blurred the lines and people could recognize you with the face value down here, I would say. But for me, it would be Ega, I think, Rajamouli sir. Makhi, as I would call it. And when I saw that, at that time, I thought I had seen something out of the blue in this cinematic universe. And then when I saw you in Jersey, it was like connecting the young you and the older you. But this time I could get, as you say, a name to the face kind of thing. How do you feel that span in those two films actually put you, I would say, the audience in here?
Yeah. No, I think, it all started with Makhi. I was introduced with Makhi to a lot of people here, and I know wherever I go, there's so much for love for Makhi, Ega there, Icha in Malayalam, Nani in Tamil. So that film really introduced me to everyone outside my own Telugu speaking land. So that was definitely my launch kind of a thing, even though it was my 6th, 7th or 8th film.
Yeah.
And I think after that, because of that introduction, even though my films were not like releasing in Hindi or anything in the theatre, all of my films were watched by dubbing. Could be on the TV, satellite, or YouTube. Each film has some 150-200 million views, so it's like huge, right? Now none of the films have that kind of views online in Telugu itself. So I used to wonder who's watching this film. So many people. I'm like, okay. Then I was like, then I realized that particularly when I came for the promotions now, when I'm going to different places, when the way they are receiving me, then I realized there's so much love. And I'm so happy now. Suddenly, now I thought, let me introduce myself again. It's been long, and then promote Dasara. But I realized after coming here, then no reason for introduction. I just had to tell what Dasara is about. So.
When Dasara's trailer came out, for me it was, how should I say, a commercial pot boiler where you have your action, your emotion, everything which takes you to the theatres, the most beautiful experiences to watch a film in a 70mm screen any day. What was your intent of getting this film at this particular time, considering where, of course, congratulations to RRR, of course, bringing the Oscar glory, the Telugu industry hold high pride in that. But then you also making this big move, going pan-Indian, and it's easier said than done, as we were just speaking. It's exhausting.
Yeah.
It is emotionally also.
Yeah. Because for the simple reason, I really think this is a film which you will enjoy with a bigger crowd. There are films which you sit alone and enjoy. Even Dasara you'll enjoy, but with a bigger crowd, it will become into four. The impact of this film will multiply. So it's a film for big screen, because when it's the community watching experience will be amazing for this film because it's relatable, because it has the shock value, and because there are situations in the film which you are involved in the film, but when that happens, you want to scream. You want to make that noise in the theater. So it is a theater film. So I thought it's a perfect film. Now that all these amazing films proved that Indian cinema is one, and it's all about making a good film.
Yeah.
And taking it to them, and they'll appreciate good content. Now the confidence levels are also, higher because of these films. No, and we have the right content. We found that one right film which we really feel genuinely, not just because some other film is working. Let's just put our film. No, I won't be bringing every film. Here something I understand. I'm sure. I'm confident that I won't be wasting their ticket money. I'm sure they'll have fun in the theater. Only that film I'll come here, promote completely, and will want to release it.
Nani, how you take to the comparisons? Because I was going to the YouTube comments also to get a better understanding, because I think my understanding is still not that equipped. When people say that, oh, we get a vibe of a little Pushpa, a little backstory of KGF, but then every story, I think, always has an element from one to the other.
If you want to, yeah. Now just they're doing that comparison because these are all films which release in multiple languages.
Yeah.
And these are recent, huge, successful films.
Exactly.
Extremely successful. So the comparison is bound to happen. Any film which comes after this film, touch wood, if when Dasara becomes that film, post-March that year, I'm sure the next one who's coming in with a rural story will get bombarded with Dasara questions also. So I think it's all a part of the game, and we can't do anything about it.
Because for me as an audience, I don't see it as a comparison. I see this more like a template setting where your heroes are larger than life. They are there to fight the evil.
Those were actually, in a way.
Yeah.
This one is much more relatable. They're all very vulnerable. There's an emotion, but when the moment comes, they are larger than life.
They're larger than life. The drop comes.
Yeah.
Nani, before we close this, because I know we are short on time, if anyone has to come up to you with a Hindi language speaking film, what is the content you are seeking for? Because I've gone through your filmography and you have done almost all the emotions, as we call the navras of the emotions. You have done everything everywhere. But what is it, Nani as an actor, if he has to go in a Hindi language, what he would pick if he has to?
Which kind of film?
Which kind of film? Any kind of genre? Any
in a
kind
Hindi
of story?
film, I would love to do something, some Rajkumar Hirani sir kind of films. I'm a big, huge fan of his film. I watched each film 5-10 times, and then the way the human emotions and entertainment is nicely done, very beautifully done with such sensitivity. I'm a big fan of sir's films, and I would love to someday, hopefully, if I get a chance.
Of course. I think with all the, God bless, with all the success we all are having in the moment in Indian cinema, as I would call it, the day won't be far when we won't be having, we have somebody from down there or here. It is a big film.
Yeah.
A big film with all the actors, and when you call them together, I think they'll make the most beautiful cinema.
Yeah, it does.
But thank you so much for doing this.